some like fun facts into, some of the 30, 35, 40, 45 years. So we're gonna go back to fun facts of 1971. Okay? So, just to share. So, I'll begin with cost of living or prices. The gallon of gas was 40 cents. A U.S. postage stamp was 8 cents. A movie ticket was $1.50. The average monthly rent was $150 a month. Yeah. And the average house price was $5,632. Okay. Events of 1971, just a few. Time Man of the Year was Richard Nixon. Walt Disney World Orlando theme park opened in Florida. The voting age was lowered to 18 with the passing of the 26th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Cigarette advertising was banned from TV. 1971. Apollo 14 lands on the moon. Email was invented by Ray Tomlinson. And the first microprocessor was invented, the Intel 4004. A few other just sporty facts, or pop facts. Pittsburgh Pirates won the World Series in 1971. I thought you guys would like that one. The Baltimore Colts won the Super Bowl. The most popular TV shows were All in the Family, The Flip Wilson Show, Marcus Welby, Gunsmoke, and I have to say, although I was 6 or 7, I do remember these shows as well. Because there was one TV in the house, you see, if you were lucky. Yeah. Popular pop artist was Al Green, Aretha Franklin, the Bee Gees, Bill Withers, Carole King, and the Carpenters, just to name a few. So I just want to say a few more words, and I want to keep everybody, and I want others to come up after me to share your stories. But Nancy is truly a lady and icon of the department. She's been one of my biggest supporters since I began working in what was CIC in 1995, when I was a young mother with a 5-month-old baby. She was always around to share the history of the department, and to share all of her support whenever was needed to ensure that we were successful. It's always very important. Nancy was always flexible with work assignments and moved to various positions within the department when I came calling, which was often. She began, from my knowledge with Nancy, she was in coding. Then she moved into a DA abstractor / coding role. We tried to do this sort of inventive position. And then finally to the QA position that Nancy holds today. Nancy, as some of you may or may not know, was the first diagnosis coder in MSK. Basically in the 1970s, now was it ICD-8 or ICD-9 then?
9.
It was 9, okay.
And we kept hearing about 10 was coming back then.
In the 1970s. So let me just share how Nancy takes intuition. She was basically given a book, someone knocked on her door and said, here, learn this. Because we need you.
Roger Yarko, our administrator at the time.
We need you to do some diagnosis coding for us. So Nancy took on that challenge and she taught herself how to code. She's now the resident expert, as Kathy mentioned, and always willing to share her knowledge or challenge you to be a better coder by making you research the question. This may have made her seem a little frightening to some of the newbie coders when they came along, because Nancy felt that she was better if you researched and tried to find your answer than her just giving you the answer. So I think in the beginning, when new coders came on board, they would be like, she's mean. Yes, and she's not helping me. And then always at the end of their 3-4 month training, or well into maybe 6 months when they were kind of on their own, they would always come back and say, oh, Nancy is the best resource. So she may have been a little tough on people, but that was why. She made me feel welcome right from the start. When I came down to CIC, always willing to share her knowledge of coding and the latest department gossip. My first memory of Nancy was about 1 week after I began, and it was around this time of year. As a matter of fact, it was New Year's Eve. I was in the process of setting up my office when, lo and behold, a knock on the door in the early part of the afternoon on New Year's Eve. She appeared at my door and handed me something I believe was called a fuzzy navel, or something like that, and asked me to join the group for a New Year's toast. With a smile and warm wishes, I welcome you all to wish Nancy all the best, a happy, healthy, long retirement filled with good times, fuzzy navels, and celebrations with family and friends. So anyone else, feel free.